Welcome back to another segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. Today I'm going to be talking about the episode The Pony Cart and the incredible Beulah Bondi. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to know when I'm going to be posting a new one, hit that notification bell and you'll get a notice about it. To me, what I loved about this episode, The Pony Cart, is the way it dealt with past and future, honoring the past, not forgetting it, but also recognizing the need to move forward. The time goes on and we can't live in the past. This was really reflected through the character of Martha Corrine, where she makes reference to the way things have been done, and she finds herself torn between not wanting things to change and not feeling as comfortable with the changes in the world that she grew up in. And yet, for the family, they're not quite embracing the way in which she wants to tell them how they should be doing things. I found it rather poignant, and it brought forth to me a recognition that I worked with a lot of incredible people during my time on the Waltons. And looking back, I wish I had taken the opportunity to talk with them more and learn more about their history and their experiences. It just didn't occur to me. Sometimes I didn't know the magnitude and scope of their history and how amazing it was, like someone like Beulah Bondi, who had this incredible career. I wasn't familiar with her. I had never seen, at that point, I don't think I'd even seen It's a Wonderful Life. Despite the fact that Ellen Corby and Beulah Bondi both worked on that movie. I look back at certain episodes and wish that I had known at the time to sit and talk with some of these people and learn from them. But it is what it is, and I hope that I've gotten older and wiser and that I now take better advantage of those opportunities. But I think that that is also a little bit of the message of the episode, that there's still a lot to be learned from people who have this kind of life experience. Our parents, our grandparents, our older relatives, and that we should take the opportunity to ask them questions while they're still here with us. So that's one of my takeaways from watching this episode. A couple of the particularly sweet moments in this episode. I loved when Jim Bob said,
"She's old and lonely, but I like her."
So do I, Jim Bob.
That was really sweet coming from him. There's a moment when Michael Learned, Olivia, is in the garden and she's barefoot. And Martha Corrine comes and talks with her, and they have a beautiful exchange where, because Olivia is aware that the family is feeling pushed by Martha Corrine, and they are resisting that. And Olivia recognizes that it's time for Martha Corrine to go home. She doesn't want to hurt her feelings, so she finds a really diplomatic way to sort of say, oh, you're going to be leaving soon. I thought it was really well handled in the episode, where Martha Corrine gets the message and realizes it's time to move forward. They had taken a trip up to Fraser Park, where we shot a lot of locations. Although the scenes up on the top of the mountain at the gravesite in Old Homestead were filmed up in Fraser Park, that last scene where Martha Corrine gets out of the pony cart and goes to pick the daisies, enjoy that moment, that was filmed on the back lot of the studio because I recognize that particular location. The daisies were probably brought in, whether they were specifically planted in the ground or they were just in beds that were below the level of the camera. Those would have been brought in specifically for that scene, and it was an absolutely beautiful moment and a lovely way to have that final moment of Martha Corrine's, where she collapses in the daisies. I actually had a conversation with Eric Scott, who played Ben, about this episode and about his memories of working with Beulah Bondi. I didn't have that many scenes with her myself, so mostly what I remembered was how tiny she was. She seemed frail and yet incredibly strong. She was sharp as a tack. She was right on top of all of her lines. She was a total professional. I found her a little intimidating. She was fierce, in a good way. So I asked Eric what he remembered because he had the whole storyline about building the pony cart. He said that the pony cart came in constructed, so they probably deconstructed it a little bit to put it back together. And he said that there was a painted version of it, or basically painted. He said there was a painter on set who did that work and that they had stenciled outlines of the decoration on that, the flowers and things that they painted. So when they were painting, they were following those light pencil stencil marks to do what they were doing. I asked him specifically about working with Beulah Bondi. He said that she was granted tremendous respect by the crew, by the director, Ralph Sinensky, that he consulted with her about the scenes and how he saw them and wanted to make sure that coincided with her take of the scene. So he had tremendous respect for her and her history in the business. So I think that was lovely, that she had definite ideas. She was very prepared. She was right on top of her lines. It was very easy to do all that filming because they were very much in accord, and there was no having to stop and redo because of her or her age or anything, that she was still at the top of her game. So it was really an honor for all of us to have someone of her caliber come and guest star on our show. Eric said that his mom filled him in on a lot of Beulah Bondi's history and made sure that he understood the scope of her career. And he said that he actually asked her for her autograph, and she gave him 2 autograph pictures. He said it was the only actor who was a guest star on the show whose autograph he ever requested. A tribute again to her incredible career. A cute moment right towards the end of the episode when Ben takes Martha Corrine for the first ride in the pony cart. There is a point, people ask about ad-libs and things like that, and I have talked about how Will Geer quite often ad-libbed. And I caught one of those as they're driving off, and he says,
"Don't go over 5 miles an hour."
I am positive that was a Will Geer ad-lib. In recent years, the pony cart was found again. David Harper, who played Jim Bob, was instrumental in locating it and having it transported back to Virginia, and it now lives in the Walton Mountain Museum in Schuyler, Virginia. So next time you're over that way, stop in and take a look at it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with more segments of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. Thank you for watching.